Back in July of 2016, my therapist told me that I'm very quotable, and I took her very seriously. In February of 2016, I came home and my husband asked me for a divorce. And I wasn't quite sure what to do about that. And I don't know about you guys that were going through a breakup or possibly a divorce as well, but I wasn't prepared for that. I certainly wasn't prepared to be single. Having been together for 6 years and married 6 months, it was very confusing to understand why that was all the effort put in to really see if this was going to work out. And so, not expecting that, I just pursued with life. Bounced back, moved out, moved home, transferred jobs, took a second job, kept myself busy, and that worked through February and March and April. And then I wasn't able to move forward. I was beginning to feel the sting of rejection. At first, I just numbed myself to it. I thought, I'll be all right, I'm tough, I'm a college athlete, I can handle this, I'll be all right, fine. So I pursued and I persisted, and eventually that persistence began to feel like banging my head against the same wall over and over and over. And so I hadn't ever really experienced that kind of loss or anything like that. And it really was like loss. It was like it was over in a 45-minute conversation. And so it was like almost experiencing death. And with that being said, by June, I was really dragging my feet. By July, I was broken. I'm like, I'm not all right. This is the first time in my whole life that I admitted I wasn't doing okay, because I'm used to winning. I'm used to being an athlete and competing and beating everybody and like winning the trophy or whatever that looks like. And so I was not okay with feeling like a loser. And when I went to therapy and I began to speak my voice and share my pain and my hurt and my sorrow and my confusion and all of those different things, my therapist said, yeah, like, you're gonna be all right. And this is natural. I had never accepted that it was okay to not be okay. I had been trained to tough it out and make it happen and get to the finish line. And for once, I fell short. And I had to deal with that in a whole new way. That was February of 2016, July of 2016. And from that, I have learned to love myself. I've learned to be okay with standing in front of strangers and telling you I'm divorced. And from this, I have learned what it means to be vulnerable. I have learned what it means to be human and be okay with it. And then by way of that, allowing other people to show up vulnerable, authentic, real, and feel heard the way that my therapist made me feel heard and okay. And so from that, many more details in between, but I launched my business, Hearts Unleashed. I have written a book, Giving Up, the Memoir of a Quitter. And it is all about quitting people-pleasing and the crappy story you have about yourself and your limiting beliefs. It's all about accepting your greatest self and having permission to be that. Be you. And from that, I host a Facebook group called Growing Gratitude, where I celebrate what there is to be grateful for in life. I also have the podcast, the Hearts Unleashed podcast, which celebrates people who are already living out loud and inspiring people who are dying to live out loud. And so that my therapist telling me how quotable I am and taking her very seriously, I have learned to speak my truth and use my voice to impact others and create a ripple effect where other people get that it is okay to not be okay, and moving past the hurt and the pain allows you to actually be really freaking great. So my name's Abigail Gazda. I am a lot of things, but who I am is heart, vitality, power, grace, and light. And I am committed to being that in the world, and I'm committed to you understanding how great you are and celebrating the best parts of you. You can live your heart unleashed.